Hello again. This is Love Herself Darlene. I'm here again with God of Earth 4, Universe 4. He's God Curtis, and he wants to speak on Corona again, part 2. Okay, I wrote down what he had to say, and you're going to hear pages, turning, but that's to be ignored. So anyway, I'm going to read off what he had to say about the Corona. He says, "We no longer fly in ships, so we surpass you all. We float through time. We can be in yesterday and fast forward into tomorrow. Ships would weigh us down," says God Curtis. China didn't do the deal that's happening bad against the world's people. How did the Corona travel so far? Well, one in the capital with a partner. Oh yeah, they're not saints, he says. The rapid coverage that some of their skills at laying people down, so they thought, laying them down up off the globe helped them. Did they really kill folks? No, we saved them. Everyone, he says. Killing can mean to get rid of, and so they did that, per se. Them alone? No, they had help, but this partner wasn't remorseful, so we sent him back to confess. He hasn't done so, but he has 1 hour left to show us something, says God Curtis. And he must tell you who he is. He's in office, lives well, wants peace, hates poverty. He thinks that the poor did it to themselves by being lazy. He's the one who distributed the mess around, costing him millions. Companies jumped at the chance to make more money than they'd ever had. This Corona was the biggest scam ever, says God Curtis. We have lifted people right and left, he says. We have ships galore for you all, though, especially babies. Take off your mask, he says. And here's another reason why. The masks are a part of the plan. Within each mask was placed an odorless consumption, but strong enough to kill a horse, depending on which mask you buy. The double layer ones have hidden fibers soaked in an odorless ammonia. People have dropped after wearing them. That's why the body count, he says. That's why the body count is high. And the vents, they are coated with a so-called purifier that makes one faint on consumption. So they gassed you all's vents, the mask, and hospitals. People go in and don't come out. So stop turning yourselves in. Prayer works. We listen, we hear, but we won't interfere if you hate us, he says. Our planets exist, says God Curtis. You just haven't been to them. You can't. You haven't been to them. You don't fly without wings, and NASA never makes it anywhere. They've never been to the moon. It's too hot to stand on. It's a light. Its quantum strength releases heat to a high power, several. No one from earth could sustain it. You are in a bubble. If you want to know the truth about it, he says, it's to keep you cool. When you wear the mask coated with the venom, just because you don't smell it penetrating, it doesn't mean it's not happening. They have ways unknown to you who didn't go to Harvard or Princeton. They kept you out. And those electoral voters, they trump y'all's votes. So don't vote, says God, Curtis. They are given the last word. He's speaking of the electoral voters, the last voters. It's their vote that matters to the Capitol. You are undergraduates. You low income, you dropouts, you are savages to them. Why would your vote matter? They think you're stupid. You come in the thousands, thinking your vote in enormous amounts will show them something. But they laugh. They know you're not educated to pick a president. So when the votes are in, they tear them up. What? You think they keep your papers around, messing up their space? They trash it and bring in electoral voters, the ones with education. It's not that you don't have good sense just because you're poor or little at income and living low, because you do have common sense. You don't need education for that. You know who's good or bad. You know that. You know who's good or bad. But your vote don't count because they have the president they want picked out already. And that was the message from God, Curtis, of Universe 4. And they are of the Godheads. These gods talking to us, mediums, psychics, whatever you want to call us on the earth. We are here for you all, and we are listening to, and some of us are visiting with, I visit with them. They visit with me. I'm back and forth. I even go on ship, and I come back here to the earth. I'm never abducted. I'm transferred, taken. I don't have to have a ticket. They have airlines. Heaven has airlines. Heaven has people, ancestors that come and go, still alive, tending to the earth. Gods, goddesses. There's a path there. It's not a myth. It's not make-believe. It's real. This earth is going through too much. The weather is horrible. There's too much tsunamis and too many tornadoes, earthquakes, and the activities of testing atom bombs and dropping bombs on Hiroshima and dropping bombs. They dropping bombs on in back in the day at Pearl Harbor. You know, it's just the earth cannot sustain all this bombing and hoes, and Iraq is at war. And guns, violence everywhere practically. And now the land, the globe, is suffering. And these sinkholes, the earth is sustaining just too much. And so it's time to get off the earth, especially when babies are in danger. Babies are in danger. It's time to get off the earth. This is evacuation time. Many religions are into that belief. They may not get along at who God is, but they will agree that this is the end of time. So please pay attention to these tedious warnings that's coming from the gods and being worked by me. I'm physically writing these things down, then I'm physically, vocally telling it to you all. For you all to please try to pay attention. If you don't believe, save yourself then. Save yourselves. This has been Love Herself, Darlene, Sarah. Thank you for listening.